Let me ask you a question. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? If you're anything like me, you look at your phone. In 2017, the ABC did a survey and they found that almost half of us check our phones every 15 minutes. And for some of us, I'm sure it's way more than that. And what do we see on there? Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, they all have one thing in common. They are begging for us to follow something. Whether it's a person, a page, a celebrity, a product, a sporting team, movies, music, anything, we can see that there are so many options of things to follow. In our previous video, we saw how social media can be such a distraction and what an uncontrollable beast that it's turned into. And it doesn't even stop there on our phone. We can go outside and we get presented with thousands of advertisements every single day. And they're all fighting for our most precious and finite resource, which is time. When we examine the world around us, we are bombarded with options of things to follow. Today on the Following the Way video, we are going to explore some aspects of that word follow. My name is also Steve, and I just want to challenge us with this idea of what are you following and how does it affect your life? And whether we're conscious of it or not, we all follow something. Whether it's a family tradition, a philosophy, a rule of life, a political party, even if we say we don't follow something, well, that is following something. And the things we follow, they have an undeniable influence on our life. For example, there was a time in my life where I totally bought into this idea that I should follow the world's definition of what success was. I was lucky, I was quite good at school, and so the people around me, I was told I should make the most of those opportunities and I should go study medicine at university. So I did, I applied and I got into the undergraduate course for that. And for the next 3 years, everything I did was in the pursuit of that goal, of the next step of getting into medicine school. The people I associated with, the way that I spent my money, the way that I spent my spare time, the hobbies I did, they were all focused around that one goal. And what happened? After 3 years of this pursuit, I couldn't progress. I didn't make it to that next stage of medicine school, and I was left feeling completely empty. And that's the danger. When we are presented with all these things to follow and we choose one of them and we pursue it, what happens when it doesn't work out? What happens when it leaves us feeling empty? And look, I'm not saying it's bad to have a dream. It's not bad to pursue something in life, but we have to recognize that there's a danger there. There's a danger that if we choose to follow something, it has an undeniable influence in our life, and at the end of it, it can leave us feeling empty. But this culture that presents us with a smorgasbord of options of things to follow, that's nothing new. I want you to imagine that you're living 2,000 years ago in a village on the Sea of Galilee. It's a bit funny, but just come with me. As an Israelite, you would have been expected to follow the traditions of your family. At the same time, you're living under the occupation of the Roman Empire, and so you're expected to follow their laws and customs as well. And then you have traders entering your little village from as far as Greece, and they're bringing new and exciting ideas, things that are a little bit interesting, things that you want to explore, things that you want to follow. But then something cuts through the noise. You hear about a man that is traveling from village to village, and he's presenting new and countercultural ideas. He lifts up the status of women and the widow, the leper and the cripple. In a society that places no value on those that can't contribute, he says those are the ones that are the most important. And for some reason, people are rejecting those other options of following, and they're choosing to pack up their lives and to follow him. There's something different about his message. We know this to be true because we read about them in historical documents called the Gospels. These Gospels, they can be found in the Bible, and they just track the lives of ordinary people, laborers and fishermen that encounter this man of Jesus and have their lives transformed by him. So it's in a park by the ocean, not dissimilar to this really, where we see an interaction play out between Jesus and his followers that speaks right into this situation. You see Jesus, he's just completed his famous miracle where he's fed the 5,000. And the next day he moves to another location and the crowd follows him. And Jesus pierces through. He identifies that the only reason that the crowd has followed him there is because they're hungry again. They had their bread yesterday and they want their bread again today. And how easy is it for us to fall into that trap, to follow things that only fill us up temporarily? Whether it's the latest reality TV show craze, or the fad diet that promises quick results, or even the relationship that, if we're being honest with ourselves, isn't really the healthiest, but at least temporarily it gives us a feeling of being wanted and loved. But Jesus, he recognizes that and he speaks into that situation, and he offers this crowd something else, something that is deeper yet is far more challenging. He offers them a relationship with him, a lifestyle where people choose to reject following the things of the world and instead follow him, his way of life. And that's hard. It's hard then as it is hard today. And we read that many of these followers, they chose to desert him that day. They chose to walk away from him. And so Jesus is left with his most trusted followers, and we see that he asks them a pretty pointed question. He says, "Do you want to leave me too?" And one of his followers, a guy named Simon, a simple fisherman, he replies with these powerful words. He says, "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life, and we have come to know that you are the Holy One of God." Simon has examined the world around him, and he's chosen to follow Jesus, chosen to say no to all of those other things. And to be honest, that choice, it inspires me. I'm inspired by his bravery. The bravery to say no to all the things of the world and instead choose one person to direct his life and direct his path. And the reason I think he does that is because he recognizes that Jesus is the only thing that will fulfill him in this life and eternally. Look, I get it. I get there are so many things out there that are begging for our attention, that are begging for us to follow them. But my encouragement for you today is that there is something out there that cuts through the noise, something that has stood the test of time. When you get tired of the merry-go-round that is life, when you get tired of following things that only fill you up temporarily, whether it's the latest Netflix craze or the latest social justice issue or anything like that, I want you to be encouraged. I want you to know that Jesus is there. Consider him. He's there. He's offering you something that is eternal and is life-changing. And what does it mean to follow Jesus? Well, I guess that's what these videos are about. That's what we're exploring. We are just ordinary guys, ordinary people that have chosen to follow Jesus, to let him direct our path. And we're trying to work out what that looks like in this crazy world. Whether it's considering the impact that social media has on our life or exploring different traditions and what they mean in the world today. These videos just look to explore different aspects of following Jesus. And look, if anything in this video today has stirred something inside you, if you're tired of following things that don't fill you up, then I encourage you, let's start a conversation. Comment below, reach out, share the video with someone that might have similar thoughts as you. This is the time in the world where we should be starting these conversations. We should be asking these questions. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all of our future videos. And look, we're just so thankful that you've chosen to come along this journey with us. And we're excited to see you at the next video.